Hello everyone, you're watching sqadia.com and today our lecture topic are the sense organs and we are on the fourth section of our lecture topic, that is the ear. We will be discussing as there are three different parts of the ear, the external ear, the middle ear and the internal ear, and we will be briefly discussing the anatomy and their functions as we will be discussing them in the three parts. So the ear consists of three areas, that is the outer or the external ear, there is the middle ear and the inner or internal ear. The ear contains the receptor which is mainly two different functions. One is the hearing and the second is equilibrium or balance. Coming to the external ear or the outer ear consists of auricle, pinna and the ear canal. Auricle or a pinna is made up of cartilage covered with skin. The ear canal is lined with skin that contains a cereminous gland which produces earwax. It may also be called the external auditory meatus or is a tunnel into the temporal bone, curving slightly forward and down. Now the middle ear starts when the external ear ends. The middle ear is an air-filled cavity in the temporal bone. The eardrum or the tympanic membrane is stretched across the end of the ear canal and vibrates when the sound wave strikes it. These vibrations are transmitted to three auditory bones called as the malleus, incus, and stapes. The stapes then transmits vibration to the fluid-filled cavity at the oval window. From then onward, these cavities are actually once the sound waves are coming in, they vibrate the eardrum. From there results in vibration of these bones. From these bones transmit these vibration to the oval window, and from the oval window onwards, the inner ear has a fluid-filled cavity, so these transmissions are actually transmitted over the fluid then. And by this, we are able to, the stimulation of inner ear results in hearing as well as equilibrium. And I will be telling them in detail. Coming to the eustachian tube, which is part of the middle ear, is an auditory tube that extends from the middle ear to the nasopharynx and permits air to enter or leave the middle ear cavity. Swallowing and yawning creates a pop by opening up a eustachian tube and equalizing the air pressure. Now this is an example of the ear. This is the auricle or the pinna. This is the external auditory meatus or ear canal, which is covered by cereminous glands, and this is the tympanic membrane. Once the sound waves comes in through this results in a vibration to tympanic membrane. These are transmitted through the first malleus, which transmits to incus and eventually to stapes. Once from there onward, it's transmitted to the oval window, and from then the transmissions are actually through the fluid, and from the fluid they go to the cochlea, which has a role in hearing, and from these also transmissions sometimes go to the semicircular canals, which have a role in the equilibrium. The inner ear is a cavity called the bony labyrinth. A labyrinth is a series of interconnecting paths or tunnels somewhat like a maze but without dead ends, which is lined with a membrane called membranous labyrinth. Perilymph is the fluid between the bone and the membrane, and endolymph is the fluid within the membranous structures of the inner ear. So just remember, the inside is the endolymph, then outside there are two layers of perilymph. So that is how actually the lymph is arranged in the internal ear. These structures are the cochlea concerned with hearing, secure, utricle, and semicircular canal. Now, there is a difference between cochlea is mainly concerned with the hearing, while utricle, secule, and semicircular canals are all concerned with the equilibrium. Cochlea is shaped like a snail shell with 2.5 structural turns. The cochlea is partitioned into three fluid canals. The middle canal is the cochlear duct, the floor of which is the basal membrane that supports the receptor for hearing on the organ of Corti. The receptors are called hair cells. The projection are specialized microvilli called stereocilia, which contain endings of the cochlear branch of the eighth nerve. So what is actually happening is once the sound waves are coming, first they were disturbing ear only, then the tympanic membrane, and then from the middle ear, these sound waves cause a vibration of malleus, incus, stapes. But once from the oval window onward, these sound waves which are coming from the external auditory meatus are actually causing the disturbance of the fluid which is present in the cochlea. Then outside is the perilymph and inside is an endolymph, and this results vibrations and the disturbances of the fluid flow which cause the stereocilia to vibrate, and this vibration would result in the transmission of neurons, and these neurons are actually coded through the eighth cranial nerve, that is, and eventually the cochlear branch, which as eighth is vestibulocochlear, so cochlear part of the is actually concerned with the hearing here. As this is the diagram over here, now these are semicircular canals which are concerned with equilibrium. This is the cochlea which is concerned with the hearing. Actually, as you can appreciate, this is the cochlear nerve and this is the vestibular nerve which is coming side by side, eventually become the vestibular cochlear nerve. The cochlear part is mainly concerned with the hearing, while the vestibular part is mainly concerned with the equilibrium. As you can appreciate, this contains 2.5 turn, and if you see over here, the fluid is flowing in this direction in one side and other direction in this side. So if there be any disturbances of the fluid flow, there will be in the cochlear duct, the sqadia would have stimulated and will cause the conduction to be transferred across the cochlear nerve. When sound waves enter the ear canal, the vibration is transmitted by following sequence of the structures. Initially through the eardrum, then to the three bones of the middle ear, the malleus, incus, and stapes. From then, stapes, it goes to the oval window of the inner ear and the perilymph. Then they are transmitted to the endolymph within the cochlea. The transmission of sound, the basal membrane ripples and pushes the hair cells of the organ corti against the tectorial membrane. When the hair cells bend, they generate impulses that are carried through the eighth cranial nerve to the brain, that is the cochlear part of the vestibulocochlear nerve. These impulses are carried to the auditory areas in the temporal lobe of the cerebral cortex. It is here that sounds are heard and interrupted. Now this is showing the balance part, which is mainly concerned with the semicircular canal, where the cochlea is mainly concerned with the hearing. So what is actually happening is the ripples are coming. This is the perilymph, this is the endolymph. Once the perilymph stimulates the endolymph, eventually there is movement in the endolymph, and this endolymph movement causes these stereocilia to move like this. This results in the stimulation of tectorial membrane. Once the fluid in the tectorial membrane is stimulated, these stimulations are actually transmitted to the cochlear nerve, which eventually forms the cochlear part of the vestibulocochlear nerve. Coming to the utricle, saccule, and semicircular canals, these are the structures which are concerned with the equilibrium. Now there are two types of equilibrium. One is a static equilibrium, and another is a dynamic equilibrium. Static equilibrium is when my head is still. There will be certain structures would be involved with static equilibrium, that if to know they will be sending signals back to the brain that my hand is in straight direction, where it's bent slightly left or towards the right, but it's not moving. It's at the stationary position. What is the direction of my head? But when I am moving, running, or jumping, at that time, what is the direction of my head and what is the balance? That is actually the dynamic equilibrium. And there will be certain structures which will involve the dynamic equilibrium. The utricle and saccule are membranous sacs are in the area called the vestibule between the cochlea and the semicircular canal. The impulses generated by these hair cells in the vestibule are carried by the vestibular portion of the vestibulocochlear nerve to the cerebellum, midbrain, and temporal lobes of the cerebellum. Cerebrum and cerebellum and the midbrain use the information to maintain equilibrium at a subconscious level. Now this is the part. Now this was the cochlea which is concerned with hearing. This is the vestibular part of the utricle and saccule, and these are the semicircular canals. As you can appreciate over there, they contain the otoliths. Now, if my head is still, the otoliths will be lying in this direction. But if I turn my head like this would result in the otoliths becoming like this, as the fluid will move in this direction due to gravity. But what would then happen? As the fluid would move, these otoliths will cause these hair-like projections to ripple as well. And this transmission of impulses will be carried out from these cells into the vestibular part of the vestibulocochlear nerve. And this will provide the sense of static equilibrium, that at this moment my head is straight, tilted towards right or tilted towards left. This is actually the utricle and saccule involved in the static equilibrium. Coming to the maintenance of equilibrium in a dynamic form, that when I'm running, walking, and jumping, or when constantly moving my head like this or this, then instead of utricle saccule, there is actually the ampulla which are situated in the base of all three semicircular canals. And if you can appreciate over here, they're arranged along the three axes, the x, y, and z axis, in such a way that they're 180 degree to each other. So there are cristae present in the ampulla, and the fluid is moving like this or this. When I am moving my head like this or this, the results is due to gravity, the fluid either move in this direction or in this direction. When the fluid moves in to and fro movement, this results in the cristae getting stimulated because they are moving like this or this along with the fluid, and this movement causes the firing the neurons, and the vestibulocochlear nerve is stimulated, and the impulses carried to the midbrain, to the cerebellum and to the cerebral cortex as well for the dynamic equilibrium. As you can appreciate, at rest is this position, and once it started to move this, then the crystal are moving along with it. When the fluid moves towards the left direction, and then the fluid moves to the right direction, the crystal moves along. So they're constantly sending impulses, and now the head is on the left side, now the head is on the right side, and now it's again in the center. So this dynamic equilibrium is actually maintained by the ampulla and the semicircular canals, while static equilibrium is maintained by utricles and sacules. The three semicircular canals are fluid-filled membranous oval oriented in three different planes. At the base of each is an elongated portion called the ampulla, which contains hair cells, the cristae that are affected by movement. As the body moves forward, for example, the hair cells are bent backward and first and then straighten. The bending of the hair cell generates impulses carried by the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve to the cerebellum, midbrain, and temporal lobes of the cerebrum. The impulses are interpreted as starting, stopping, accelerating, and decelerating, or changing direction. And this information is used to maintain equilibrium while we are moving. In summary, the utricle and sacule provide information about the position of the body at rest, while the semicircular canals provide information of the body in motion. So we are coming to the end of the fourth section. This we have covered the different parts of the ear, the external, middle, and internal ear. We have covered briefly the anatomy of cochlea and semicircular canal. We have briefly how the hearing is actually conducted, as well as how the equilibrium is maintained in the internal ear. Thank you very much. Keep watching sqadia.com.